Welcome. Happy post-holiday season. Thank you for joining us. So here we have a group of gifts that we purchased for ourselves. So we have something to open up on the holiday morning. But right now, we are going to be doing an unboxing of this right here. This is the DC deck building game Arkham Asylum. Now, actually, this gift here was gifted to us by our amazing girlfriend, and we'll most likely be doing unboxings of some of these other things here. But for now, let's look at this. I like the DC deck building game. One of the minor complaints of it is that it's not very thematic. But I like the idea of putting together one that's like, Batman, Gotham City. Here we have an entire set devoted to Arkham Asylum. Or it could also do Justice League and Justice League Dark, and they did come out with that Justice League Dark set, which we got. And this, of course, will be incorporated into the big box. These are all pretty standard. Nice instruction book here. And I believe they mentioned something about they always have a minor little rule change in each of these new sets. Let's see what it says here. Overview. Break out of Arkham Asylum and take over Gotham City. Take hostages and bribe your way to the top of the criminal underworld. Yeah, I think bribes was something that was new in this. Your deck begins the game with only the ability to punch your foes. As the game progresses, you will add more powerful cards to your deck with the goal of defeating Batman and his allies. Build your team from a variety of heroes, villains, equipment, locations, and superpowers. Once you've taken down the Bat, the player with the most victory points wins. Cool. So it almost sounds like you could maybe incorporate stuff from DC Rivals, the Batman set, or maybe you could do something like, let's say you've got a hero or something, an anti-hero, maybe something from Justice League Dark, and they get locked up wrongly in Arkham Asylum, and the whole plan is to escape or whatever. I also know that Constantine, it wasn't Arkham Asylum, but he did have himself purposely locked up in an asylum in one of his story arcs. Here are the tokens. Come with the game. And that right there is for Two-Face. Be really cool. I don't know if that's something they did in the Kickstarter, but it would be really cool if they had some kind of metal token to go with the people that supported the Kickstarter. All right, what do we have here? Okay, so these are the liner cards that go into the big box. These are nice and heavy plastic. Here we have the giant hero and possibly villain cards, or maybe they're both. These aren't double-sided. Okay, so we have Harley Quinn, the Joker match. That's amazing. Oh, speaking of which, there's a present back there that we probably didn't get to show. Killer Croc. From this angle, I almost thought it was Swamp Thing. And I was like, he doesn't belong here. Mr. Freeze. Look at that. One of our favorite villains. Tragic character. The Penguin. Poison Ivy. See, maybe you could come up with a play variant with Poison Ivy and Harley trying to escape Arkham together. And the goal is to, I don't know, have the same point total at the end of the game. The Riddler. Scarecrow. Two-Face. Catwoman. And that's it. Okay. So that's it for the oversized hero cards. Next up we have the deck cards, I believe. So some of these are going to be, I guess you would call them burn cards or starting cards, like these yellow ones here. You start with like a punch, a weakness or something, vulnerability, whatever they call it. And that is one complaint that we personally have, is they always have to reproduce the starter cards. And I think that maybe they could, I don't know, just produce maybe like a separate tuck box deck of starter cards of various heroes or villains, and just make that the all-encompassing starter card that you use for each set, because it's it really fills up that big box unnecessarily so, because every single set has these starter cards. So this is what the punch card looks like, and this is what the vulnerability card looks like, and they are different for each set. Let's see. Going to try to go through here and pull out any okay, yeah, weakness cards. There we go. So this is what the weakness cards look like. I'm sorry the lighting's so horrible. We've got the sun shining right through that window there. So we'll separate those cards, and are there any others in here? Doesn't look like it. Are these are just, wait, no, I think these might be some kind of starter cards too. Yeah, these are like what would normally be like the kick cards for the heroes. Gives you +2 power. So we'll put those in their own starter deck here. See, look at all those cards. All these cards right here are just starter cards. And what you're left with, hopefully, is about a stack of cards right here. And those are the cards that you play the main game with. And I think they should just, as mentioned before, they should have some kind of all-encompassing separate set of starter cards that you could use, rather than just reprinting the same style of cards, not necessarily the same art. Those are all different, but wait, here's another starter card. Okay. Huh. So you can tell this starter when they have the yellow stripe on them, and of course it says starter. I don't know how these are doled out at the beginning of the game though. These look a bit different. And it looks like they all have +1 power, but the text is different beneath it. So we'll put this again with the starter cards. Here we have the equipment cards. Scarface's equipment. I like that. And these are the hero cards. What do they have for heroes here? We've got Prison Guard. A Bat Cow. GCPD officer. Carlos Alvarez. Titus. Crispus Allen. Harvey Bullock. Leslie Tompkins. Cool. And some of the hero cards carry over into this deck here. Our local game store had the Arkham Asylum set on their discount shelf. And I don't think it's been out for more than, at the most, a month. So our girlfriend was with us at the time, we pointed it out to her and she picked it up for us. Quite nice. These are more of the heroes, right? Yeah. Got Ragman. Got the Signal. Spoiler. Batwing. Nay Montoya, who ends up becoming the Question. Gotham Girl. Alright, these are the locations. So we'll just go through this deck and make sure that there's no more starter cards in here. So the randomizer card. Let's see, that's another starter card. So you go there. Oh, here we go. They're the heroes. All right. The actual heroes, like the people I guess you have to defeat. So we have James Gordon, Huntress, Orphan, Robin. That looks like the Damian Wayne Robin. Not a fan of him. Azrael. Batwoman. She's getting her own comic pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. Her, Lobo, and Zatanna. Red Hood. Batgirl. Catwoman. Who's also got a card in for the heroes in Arkham Asylum, or whatever you call them, the ones. Getting confused. Red Robin, Yum. They really should have came up with a different name for him. Nightwing, like was that Shadowcat from the X-Men? Initially, she was called Sprite, of all things. And Batman. Of course, he's the last one you fight. All right, so let's give you a quick overview, whatever, of the things that we bought for ourselves for Christmas, Yule, holiday morning type stuff. So yeah, we've been doing this for a few years. We'll buy some things for ourselves and open them up on Christmas Day. It started as a habit because what remains of our family does not know anything about who we are and what we fancy. And I'm all for a joke gift or whatever, but in this case they thought it was serious and just reminded me that, you know, you really have no idea who I am and what I'm about, so don't even try. Not much remains of our family. We have no friends, so we buy things for ourselves. And we'll show you what we got here. That was the sound of the randomizer cards dropping. So it shows you how nice and heavy plasticky they are. This was also a gift from my girlfriend. Okay. We've had a long-standing boycott of all things Disney since we were in single digits. Anything with Disney's name on it, we do not touch, and we refuse to give them any money. But we were at Best Buy, I believe, with our girlfriend. So this is yet another gift she got us. And NECA does some amazing figures. And she saw us looking at this, which is an incredible figure. Look at that. Looks like the wings are soft goods too, but I can't tell. We'll be doing an unboxing of these, just reviewing the presents we got. So this isn't something we bought for ourselves. Our girlfriend bought that for us. Glad she did, even though it is technically Disney. This here is an amazing model of our favorite Transformer, Shockwave. So early on when we collected Transformers, the G1 series, we probably had about 90% of that entire collection. Collected a few of the Generation 2. Shockwave had always been our favorite Transformer, and at one point we just, collected too much. So we decided that when we did get back into collecting, we would only collect key characters. So the key character we collect from Transformers, our favorite character, is Shockwave. We've got a tiny little shelf of Shockwave stuff to the right over there. And we first saw these as gachapon in boxes like much tinier than this. It's like maybe like that. And these little snap together models, and I don't think they even transformed. They were just figures that you snap together. There was one a Shockwave, but I didn't want to go through the process of buying 5, 6, 10, whatever of those models just to get Shockwave. And we saw this on the shelf at like an FYE or something. It's big and huge, and I was like, okay, I've got to get this. So we also might be doing a video of us putting this together, or at least a review of it after it's put together. This here was kind of an impulse buy. Look at that, pretty cool, huh? So we were at Half Price Books trying to find some gifts to get people, and we saw that on one of the shelves. We do have the full graphic novel of the Death in the Family tale. I think there's like 3 or 4 smaller ones. This one comes with number 3 in there. So it comes with the part of the graphic novel series and that brilliant mask. Box is a little beat up. If we had the ability, we would most likely take the mask out and get some kind of foam head or mannequin head to place the mask on, so we could just keep it on display all the time. But it's most likely going to just go into storage. Now here is a severe impulse buy. Now, we picked this up at Toys R Us. And you might say to yourself, Toys R Us, are you daft? That's gone. It's not around anymore. I don't know if it's all around the particular stores, but it was announced maybe a year ago that Macy's would be hosting test stores for Toys R Us. And they've been at our local mall or whatever, a tiny little corner of the store. If you blink, you'll miss it. And it's always just upside down. Like, they don't really take care of it. And a few months ago, we saw reviews for these brilliant things, which I'll get into online. Just like some toy review dude, and he's like, yeah, they sent me this. Well, no, he was a Sonic dude. That's what it was. He's a big-time Sonic dude. And he was sent this to review. And I saw that, and I was like, that's brilliant. So cool. I'm never going to find them. So I'm at that Toys R Us and Macy's, just kind of digging through the stuff that's all over the place, and I find these. And I'm like, I'm never going to see these again. I have to get them. So what these are, see, look at that, and it looks very much like a Genesis cartridge. but they open up and fold out into a kind of diorama. The figures are loose, and some of the accessories are loose, so you can kind of set them up how you want. This one, of course, is for Sonic 3. This one is for Sonic 2. See, isn't that cool? And they have some other cartridges. In the set, they have Sonic 2, Street Fighter 2, Altered Beast, and Sonic 3. They did have Street Fighter 2 there. I'm kind of over Street Fighter. I used to be really, really over the top into Street Fighter. Altered Beast would be amazing, but they didn't have it. So if I ever see that in the wild, I will be picking it up. And now, finally, we have this big chunky thing here. Also looks like a pretty decent recreation of the actual Sega Genesis. And this is also a diorama. It's got that nice grid background, and it comes with some baddie figures. Who do we have? We have Deathbringer, who is from Golden Axe, I believe. We have Eggman in his robot form. We have Mecha Sonic and Mr. X. I want to say Mr. X is possibly from Streets of Rage, but I'm not quite sure. I know he wasn't exclusive to Genesis, but I would like to see a cartridge for Mega Man. Yes, so we'll also be doing a unboxing video for these things here at some point. What's not here is also our girlfriend got us the alternate covers for Joker's first appearance, and I believe that's Absolute Batman 13 or 15 or whatever. There are 5 different covers, one of which was like selling at a comic book store for like $75, $100. But I've got 4 out of 5 of them. One of which was like $20 or $30, and she still got that for us. So I'm quite happy with that. Hope you all had an amazing holiday and an equally amazing new year. Things are looking up. So thank you for joining us. We apologize for not doing more content. Recently, we've been exploring the TikTok things because they just seem to be a bit easier to do sometimes. Really quick or whatever, kind of forces us to edit our words on the fly. Because we don't know how to do editing with these things. We should learn. Okay, so this is the amazing stuff that we've gathered for Christmas. Oh, there's one more. I forgot. This guy's separate because he's pretty special. We already have him on display. So this will be the final gift that we got ourselves. Can you see that? Let's see there. There we go. Come on, come on. Yeah. So this is the Grey Ghost figure for McFarlane's Batman the Animated Series collection. And he comes with Build-A-Figure parts for Jonah Hex. Another figure I wish I would totally want to get. So Grey Ghost is one of the... I don't know if he's a chase figure or what. He's extremely hard to find. People are selling him on eBay for $75 to $200. I had never seen him in the wild, and when I did, I had to pick him up. So the other figures in this series are Batman, Killer Croc, Ra's al Ghul, and of course Grey Ghost. We've only seen Ra's al Ghul, I believe, in the wild, possibly Killer Croc. I know there's a Batman floating around with like a kind of silver costume. I think it's like fireproof or something for when he goes against Firefly. So I'm not sure what the difference is with this Batman that comes with the set. But if we could gather all those to put together Jonah Hex, that would be brilliant. Typically, we'll go to shows and they'll be selling these figures in box, but the Build-A-Figure stuff is missing. And they'll still be selling the figure for above retail, even though it had been opened and this stuff missing. And then if you try to buy the Build-A-Figure, like separately, that's usually about $200. Because their logic is, oh, well, we bought the entire series so we could put this figure together, so this figure is about worth the entire series. Yeah, don't agree with that. So then, that is it. Hope you all have an amazing new year. Thanks for joining us. Stay healthy. Always be kind. Take care.